Sheldon, little bootleg ass studio.
Appreciate y'all for putting up. Hit that like button. Let's go and get up in this thing today. All right, so the Diddy trial has arrived, y'all. And I'm guessing they just doing jury selections and things like that. So it ain't really gotten to the meat and potatoes of anything just as of yet. But let's check out this little video right here. Let me make sure my audio gonna break through. You know how it be sometime.
This morning, the highly anticipated criminal trial of Sean Diddy Combs is getting underway. The music mogul himself expected to be inside a Manhattan courtroom as jury selection begins. It was nearly 8 months ago that Combs was first arrested by federal agents and charged with racketeering, sex trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution that could lead up to life behind bars. Combs has repeatedly denied the accusations against him and just last week said in court that he had rejected a plea deal which would have seen him receive a lighter sentence. But New York prosecutors claim Combs abused women for decades, coercing them to participate in drug-fueled sex parties known as freak-offs. Many of those incidents recorded on video, according to the indictment.
The victims did not believe they could refuse Combs without risking their security or facing more abuse.
His defense maintains everything was consensual, with Combs' attorney Tenny Garagos telling the Two Angry Men podcast,
the public has gotten nearly every single fact wrong. However, that's what a trial is for.
The legendary rapper and hip-hop producer, now turned defendant, was first accused of physical and sexual abuse by his former girlfriend, singer Cassie Ventura, in an explosive civil lawsuit 18 months ago. Combs denied all of Ventura's accusations at the time, and the two settled. But a criminal investigation was already taking shape. And then this hotel security footage surfaced, first obtained by CNN, showing Combs punching and kicking Ventura in 2016.
My behavior on that video is inexcusable.
He did that barefoot too. I just realized that he had on socks but no shoes. Dang, that probably hurt his foot too.
My behavior on that video is inexcusable.
That apology has since been deleted from social media. Combs' legal team has tried to keep the assault video from being played to a jury, but the judge recently ruled that it can be shown. A source familiar with the case telling NBC News that Ventura is a star witness for the government and is expected to take the stand within the first few days.
Now they're gonna show this video, but it has nothing to do with the trial, right? I mean, that's not what he's been convicted of.
Now the process begins to select the jurors who will soon decide
they're going to use it to paint a picture of his character.
His fate.
So we know that the government's case centers around 4 alleged victims, with Cassie being one of them, but the identities of the other 3 have not yet been revealed. I do want to point out that the judge said at a hearing last week that he's hoping that they can seat a jury within just 3 days, which would allow the prosecution and Combs' legal defense team a couple of days to prepare before opening statements are on Monday. I also want to point out a few other things. There aren't going to be cameras in the courtroom, and this whole criminal trial is expected to last about 2 months.
She said there are or there aren't.
To last about 2 months. Statements are on Monday. I also want to point out a few other things. There aren't going to be cameras in the courtroom, and this whole criminal trial is expected to last about 2 months. Savannah?
All right, Chloe Melassa.
Oh, man.
Outside the courthouse. Thank you.
Hey, thanks for...
Oh, man. No cameras in the courtroom? Well, that sucks. Chanel R. Smith in the bootleg ass studio. Appreciate you for pulling up to the building. Going to be deep for sure. If you just following in, hit that like button. Let me know who you is and where you from. I appreciate you for pulling up. If you're feeling generous and want to donate to the channel, the Cash App is floating at the bottom of the screen. This $ Sheldon VYBEZ 903. Any amount is highly appreciated, and your blessings will be returned to you tenfold. Yeah, though, this is gonna be the trial of the century. All right, before we switch gears, let's stay on the topic of Diddy real quick. And we're going to jump into this article from TMZ. Let's see what they're talking about. Maybe they got some information that wasn't disclosed on this article. All right, it says the day has come. Jury selection will be major challenge. I guess that meant will be a major challenge. Diddy will finally face a jury of his peers who will determine his fate for the rest of his life, but finding the right jury for each side is gonna be a Herculean task. Never seen that word in my life. My context clues tells me what it means. Tough, hard, you know, impossible almost. But let's check it out. Herculean, and it kind of sounds like Hercules. So something that may be something that's powerful or something. Let's check this out. Let's see. All right, so Herculean, boom. Requiring great strength or effort. Bet. All right, yeah, that's what I thought. All right, something there to fit. All right, yeah. I hit the wrong button. All right, here we go. Back on track. All right, now the defense will have a much more difficult time because there's no such thing as an unbiased jury. Good luck finding a prospective juror in New York City or anywhere else in this country, for that matter, that hasn't formed an opinion about this case, because everybody has seen this. So everybody pretty much already know what's going on, and they already have an opinion about it. So it's going to be kind of hard to find a unbiased jury. You know, that's what they're saying. I said, since the public view is Diddy is guilty, prosecutors have a big edge. As for the defense, the way to go about asking questions regarding bias is not simply asking if a prospective juror can have an open mind. The way to do it, they ask if prospective jurors have ever held a view that was important to them, but were able to change their mind, and they need to be specific. Okay, so basically they trying to vet these people to see if maybe they had an outlook on something already, and then once they have received certain information, did they ever waver? Did they ever change their mind? Or did they ever just stand on what they always stood on before? Because they just, can't be wavered. They, whatever they thought initially is what they're gonna ride with. It don't matter if you tell them the sky is blue and they believed it was red before. If you prove to them that the sky is blue and they believed it was red before, you can't convince them that. Even if now they know that it's blue, they're gonna be like, "No, it's red. I don't care what happened, whatever you saying." Those they vetting to see if any of these people, could be fair. Basically, that's their way of trying to find out if anybody, could be fair. The other thing is the other thing that's in play here is pretrial publicity regarding celebrity sex tapes and sex involving minors. Lots of folks think both will play a role in the criminal case. It won't. There are no celeb sex tapes, and none of the criminal charges involve minors. Weirdly, that could actually help the defense because a lot of jurors expect to hear about this, and when they don't, they could feel prosecutors fell short. But if they're one of those people that can't be wavered, they'll be like, okay, well, he didn't sleep with no minors. But he's still a perv. He whatever, he's still guilty. Somebody might do that. The point became a big talking point between Harvey and Mark Geragos on the most recent Two Angry Men podcast. This that was just speaking about. Let me see, how long is this clip? 36? No. You're not watching it. All right, so there are other factors to consider. The Cassie video concealed Diddy's fate, even though he's not being charged for the brutality seen on the video, but it certainly tells a powerful story. In TMZ's latest Downfall of Diddy documentary, we presented the case to a mock jury, and a number of jurors said their thought process began and ended with the video. There are also logistical issues. A number of prospective jurors will be excused for hardship reasons. Sitting through a 2-month trial during the summer is a deal breaker for many. Many will be excused because they can't overcome their biases. So the pool will almost immediately shrink. Race will inevitably play a huge part in the case. It'll be interesting to see what each side wants in terms of diversity. Likewise, it's a dice roll in deciding whether men or women will be harsher or more sympathetic to Diddy. The judge will be asking questions to the jurors, not the lawyers, but with all the lawyers at counsel tables, keeping them quiet. So this ought to be pretty interesting, to say the least. I'm ready to see how this is gonna play out. I'm ready to see this get started. Yeah. Hit that like button. Well, that's what's going on with the Diddy case. They just getting started, getting the wheels turning. How are y'all doing today? Let's switch gears. Okay, so